Well, hello there, everybody. How are you? This is Wayne Yolery, host of the Thirsty Thursday Call. Welcome aboard. Hey, listen, I just looked over at the blog at thirstythursdaycall.com. 60 likes. I expect that there should be 100 total likes by the end of this call. So, hey, 60 likes is a good start, and I want to give a shout-out to, let's see, our visitors from Washington, D.C., Mission, British Columbia, the United States, Palo Alto, California, Lovington, New Mexico, Matawan, New Jersey, and Windham, New York. So those are just a few of the people that I see have checked into the thirstythursdaycall.com blog. All you got to do is go check out the blog post for tonight's call, and you will see all the people visiting the site, where they're from. And don't forget to click on the like and share buttons on the left side of the blog. All right. Listen, if this is your first time on the call, let me just give you a brief history. This is a call that we've been putting on. I've been putting it on for 5 years now, since I started in January of 2008. And when I first got started in Montevideo, I had a team that was all across the country. We just kind of, a bunch of internet friends got together, joined Montevideo, and this was how we were keeping in touch with each other. We would go all night, many nights, 2, 3 in the morning, talking, and we had so many people that said, oh, what'd we miss? And then we decided, you know what, why don't we do a call on Thursdays? We'll make it at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That way people can get their tasting parties and HBRs done, and they can still make it to the call, and if they're thirsty for more, we're going to give it to them. And so that's what we've been doing for the past 5 years. And it's a joy to do this call each and every week. We have an amazing lineup tonight. You aren't going to want to miss this. You want to get your teams on the call. If you just got someone in tonight, call them right back up and say, hey, I know we just signed you up, but you got to get on this call. We have one of our founders on the call. We have some awesome executives on the call. Just dial in. You can listen. You might want to, put something on Facebook, send out a last-minute text message or a tweet. You don't want people to miss it. If you're new to the call, you can send Thursday from your cell phone. That's right. Go ahead. Get your cell phone out, or you might be on it. Go into your text messages, okay? And you're going to send the word Thursday to the number 50500. That's right. You're going to send the word Thursday to the number 50500. And when you do that, you're going to get a message back. Just one message. That's it. And it's going to give you some information to find us on Facebook, our Thirsty Thursday group, I think, as well as a mailing list, which sends out blog posts every week to let you know who's going to be on the call. Well, listen, I am so excited because we do have an awesome call tonight. We're going to have Jake and Jane Haagsman, gold executives from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. We're going to have, let's see, who else we're going to have on here? We're going to have Tawnya and Dewey, German, from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. How exciting is that? And we're going to have Henry Marsh, founder and vice chairman from Utah. I mean, I don't know if it gets any better than that. It's funny because every week I say, oh, my gosh, we're going to have an awesome call. You know why I keep saying that? Because we have so many amazing leaders in this company that we get to hear from each and every week. And I tell you what, it could be the beginning of the call, it could be the middle, it could be the end, but I guarantee you come on this call, you are going to walk away with a nugget. You're going to walk away with something that we believe is going to help you close out this week and close it out with a bang. Tomorrow is Friday, people, and if you're not getting the pay that you want tomorrow from last week's work, well, guess what? You can make a change for next Friday. You got tomorrow to do it. And I'll tell you a quick story. I remember when I woke up one morning, it was a Friday, I was a gold executive, and I just woke up and I said, you know what? I said to my wife, I said, we're going to go Ruby today. This is the truth. I said, we're going to go Ruby today. And she said, really? How? I said, I don't know how, but when I woke up, it was in my heart, we're going to go Ruby. We're going to do it. And I needed 3,000 points to do it. That's pretty much like adding silver volume for one day. And I did it. We did it. We pulled it off. We went out. We hustled. We gathered the team. We did it. And I tell you what, it wasn't even from hearing a call. I don't know what it was. I just woke up fired up. the next week, we're back at Friday again. It's a 2-week qualification. I needed another 3,000 points on Friday. But guess what? We pulled it off. We got the team together. Everybody was fired up, and we did it. So I know that if you believe you can, you can. And if you believe you can't, well, you're right again. You probably can't. So just believe with us. Let's believe together. Now, listen, I want to bring on Jake and Jane. Are you guys there?
We're here. Yep.
Oh, awesome. You sound great. You're coming in loud and clear. Woohoo! I love doing your blog post. Awesome. I loved doing your blog post this week. I got to put Jane's Friday inspirational video up on there, so if you haven't watched it, make sure you go over to the ThirstyThursdayCall.com blog and check that out. She does that every Friday. Jane, I just want to say, fantastic job. I'm hoping and looking forward to seeing more and more people in Montevideo do stuff like that, because, guys, that if you're going to do stuff on social media, what Jane's doing is the kind of stuff you want to do. You want people to get to know you, and there's no better way than making a video and putting yourself out there. So I just want to congratulate you, Jane, for doing that. I know it's not easy, and I enjoy watching them each and every week.
Actually, it really is easy because I love sharing words of encouragement, and it's actually a daily. I have a Facebook page, Today's Word of Encouragement. So Jake is the man behind the camera, taking care of all the stuff that I don't like to do that he loves to do. And I like sharing words of encouragement with people. So it's kind of a marriage made in social media, I guess.
There you go. Well, if you could, share that in the Thirsty Thursday group. If you can, after the call, put your link to that page. I'd love to see it. I guess I just caught the one from Friday that you handed to me. But anyhow, listen, Jane, tell us a little bit how you first got started in Montevideo. Why don't you tell us, what you guys were doing and how Montevideo came to you? We want to hear your story.
Okay. Well, first of all, I have to say, Wayne, Jake and I appreciate you so much. You're not going to get away from this. And everybody that's listening, Wayne on his Facebook page has a little thing where he likes different things. So you guys can bless him with giving him a little gift, because the amount of time he spends on these calls is more than you could ever imagine. And Jake and I appreciate you so much for what you do. And then you and Gina Merritt and Matt and Kim Curtis are like brothers and sisters to us, and we so appreciate their servant leadership and everything they do for us to help us in our business. The Montevideo leadership, Henry, we're excited to hear from Henry Marsh and Tawnya and Dewey tonight, but we feel so blessed to be a part of this organization. And so how we got started. A friend of mine called me. We were in Amway together 25 years ago. She called and said, "Oh, my gosh, I can't believe I finally found you. I had lived in Florida for 3 years. I moved to Minnesota with my ex-husband. I got divorced and got remarried to Jake. And I'd kind of lost contact with all of my Amway friends. And so she found me through Facebook and said, my husband and I are getting ready to sell our Goodyear dealership. We're making $100,000 a year. You got to check out this Montevideo business." And I'm like, "What is Montevideo?" She goes, "Well, it's a juice company." I'm like, "Seriously, you're making $100,000 a year selling juice?" And so when Jake and I met and got married in 2007, we made a boatload of cash that year. And fast forward to 2010, and things weren't looking so rosy financially. And so we needed this to work. So we got in. Jake wanted to really try the products and see how they worked. And they worked like they always do. And he said, "Okay, we can start talking to people about this." So our sponsor came up from Atlanta. We did a meeting. We had 8 one-on-ones while she was here that weekend. And 7 people got in. And we made $266.50. And we've not looked back.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So you have had experience in the business before, and in the industry, I should say, and then got into Montevideo. You went right to it. You showed it to 8 people. 7 signed up.
Yep.
Yeah, I love how you still do Still, I knew my first week too. It was $3.98. I'll never forget. I couldn't even believe. I'll never forget the card came in the mail, right? And if you're new on the call and you're not involved in Monavie, you get this card, and that's how you get paid. So this card came in the mail, and I called my upline and I said, "Hey, what's this card like this? Is this like a boat? Is this like, I thought it was like, how you get the prepaid cards? There might be $10 on it, and then it's over, right?" And he said, "Well, no, Wayne, that's how they pay you all the time. Don't throw that away. You want to hang on to that." I'm like, "Okay. Well, how much is on it?" And they said, "I don't know. Let's go look at your back office." And I went and I looked, and I'm like, 300. Actually, it was like 500 and something because I had the second week on there already. I said, "Well, how the heck is that on there?" I didn't even know how I was making money. They'd be kidding, just from sharing the product and introducing people to it. So listen, well, Jane, tell us. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, here's the crazy thing. Matt and Kim Curtis were in my Amway downline. And so when Lynn Cobbin said, "Hey, do you remember Matt and Kim?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, yeah, last year, here's what they made." I was like, holy smokes. Okay. I think we got to take a really serious look at this. So relationships are really important.
Well, yeah, exactly. So tell us, when was that you started in Monavie?
In 2010.
2010.
I think our sign-up was February 10th, 2010. But we really, we didn't do anything until March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on in your business now? Tell us, what are some highlights? What's going on right now in your business? How's the scanner? What's going on with the scanner?
The scanner is really awesome. It has opened up so many doors, but one of the things that really just got laid on my heart was, Jake and I had a vision before we ever got married, both of us did, that we were going to be on a stage speaking to thousands of people. Before we ever got married, we both had the same dream. That's awesome. And so, fast forward to today, that scanner has opened doors for us that we would have never had opened. I can walk up to people and go, "Hey, have you ever heard of Monavie?" "No, what's that?" "Oh, it's a company based, we got started with a juice based on the acai berry. We've got a weight management program. We've got energy drinks. We've got a cortisol blocker that helps you with stress and sleep. But the really cool thing is I have a piece of technology that I can put your finger in and test your antioxidant level. And if your score is bad like everybody else's that I've scored is, I can help you increase that score. Do you want to talk?" It's
nice.
Crazy. Nobody says no.
Right. Oh, I know. I just was at a salon yesterday, and I scanned 10 people, 10 quick scans, and one light scan I did out of the 10. And I just went, the lady's like, are you going to set up a table? And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to all the stations where all the ladies are at. I'm not going to sit in the corner of the table. So they're getting their hair done. I'm like, "Give me your finger." And the one lady was getting these eyelashes put on. This is the second time I've done this. They're putting the eyelashes on her. They got her eyes all taped up. She can't even see me. This is the best. I wish I could videotape. I got to video it. I'm going to video it the next time I do this. Here's a lady, eyes taped shut because they're putting eyelashes on her. And I'm like, "Here, stick your finger out." And she sticks the finger out. She can't see what she's putting it in. I'm like, "Don't worry. If you feel a little prick, it's just because we take about a pint of blood." I said, "No, I'm just kidding. There's no blood. It's a quick scan, And this was the lady who then, I tell them all about the quick full scan. I said, "Hey, we're going to have to get together, do a full scan. I want it." She threw the $10 at me. "I want that quick scan right now." And this lady was orange. And she was telling me how she's doing all this stuff. I go, "Well, we need to make some changes." So I'm meeting with her tomorrow. And it was amazing. It's been amazing, the scanner. It's been an amazing tool. I lead with the scanner now. So it's interesting how you talked about all these different products and then went to the scanner. See, there's so many different ways that you can do this. And I liked how you did that because you kind of led right into it. And then, boom, they want to try it. So tell me, so what's going on? What are you seeing as you're scanning people? Tell us, just some of your experiences. the people want to hear,
Right. The thing that I have found that's so crazy, like I have this really awesome Bible verse, Habakkuk 2:2-3. And it says, the Lord replied, write down the vision and write it on tablets that the one who reads it may run. For the vision awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end, and it will not prove false. And it also says in the Bible, John 17:17 says, God's word is truth. So I stand on that, and I claim it as my truth every day. And I believe that God intends to bless people because of you, because of Henry Marsh, because of Tawnya, because of Dewey, because of Jake, and because of James. We're going to walk into people's lives, and we're going to be able to bless them. And Steve and Gina and Matt and Kim have invested time and money into us, and we are going to be blessings to them. And, God's anointing, it requires cooperation. And so what you don't recognize, you can't cooperate with. So when you walk into a building and you're looking around and you're talking to people and you're listening to people, you need to have your ears open and you need to be ready to cooperate with the vision that you have for your life and for your Monavie business, or, for whatever it is in your life. I walked into the driver's license bureau. Jake and I were going to go at the same time. And we ended up not being able to do that. And so Jake went earlier, I went later, and this gal is in there with her daughter. And I'm like, okay, she's talking to her daughter, blah, blah, blah. Her daughter looked like she was, 13 years old. I'm like, you can't possibly be here to get your driver's license. And she said, no, I'm here to get an ID. So we started talking, long and short of it. I met with her that night. She said, I want you to wait till Monday to put my order in. I said, fine. She called me. Jake and I were going out of town. She called me on Saturday and said, I'm going to get started with the senior kit instead of 200 points. It just makes better business sense. I'm ready to run with this.
Nice.
And it was so exciting. But you got to take action. A girlfriend, Lisa Zebart, that was just on the call a few weeks ago. I called her from the Walmart store in Hudson, Wisconsin, and said, Lisa, I need your credit card number. You're getting into Monavie with me. We're going to run. And we haven't looked back. She's going to hit gold before too much longer. We got a guy started in New Jersey, John Bolos, just a few weeks ago. He's not here. He doesn't have help. There's not a lot of people around building, but he's willing to run. He's doing the work. He's doing what's necessary to build his business. And so, this is your business, and you got to take action, and you got to run with it. It's not your sponsor's business. You just got to do what's necessary to build it.
That's good. That's good. I like that. So, if you could talk to someone who was new, just getting started out, maybe they're just joining your business or looking at it for the first time, what are some tips that you would give a new person who's just getting started? You know what? I'm actually going to let Jake take that question because he has some great answers about that. So here's Jake.
Hi, Wayne.
Hey, Jake. How are you?
Thanks for having us on the call. That's an interesting question because Jan and I have discovered the biggest secret for building or rebuilding your Monavie business. And I have to tell you, we kind of thought, should we tell other people? But, of course, we decided to do it because everybody else has been so generous. But, the biggest secret to building your Monavie business is your excitement. Because the very first weekend that we did this business, like Jane said, we got 7 people in. It was incredible. We didn't know anything. I didn't know how to pronounce the word acai, and Jane couldn't pronounce the word entrepreneur. We would just because of our excitement and our testimony of the product, what it had done for us, that got people in. But, Wayne, over time, other people started speaking into our lives and said, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right, you're not saying the right thing. And our excitement started to wane, and we started to learn all the science behind the products and stuff, which is good. But these were good intentions. You know where the road to good intentions goes. You know what I mean? Our excitement went down, and people weren't getting in like they were at the very beginning. So I would like to present to the distributors out there who's speaking into your life, who's telling you can't do it, who's telling you, You don't know enough about the products. Who's telling you you need to be with this other company that might be a bottle rocket that's going to take you nowhere? You know, our son Zach made a dessert the other night, and it was really nice. He was trying to make it, but when it had to be flipped upside down, and it didn't work out. And I says, wow, what do you call that? And he says, well, I call it broken and upside down. I said, hey, that sounds like a country song. But, you know, that's where these bottle rockets are going to take you, broken and upside down. So I'm telling you, you know, my experience, this is a short time I've been in this network marketing, stick with it, get excited, that's going to get you there.
Awesome. So true. That is so true. And just like when I said, even in the beginning, the 398 that I made the first week, I didn't even know how I did it. I was just so excited to get out there and share it because of what I saw it was the Monavie was doing for my family.
Exactly. You know, that was our experience. And, you know, and I think people inside, everyone knows their own gifts and talents that God gave them better than anybody else. I say run with what you've got. You've got your own style, everybody out there. Make it work for you, and it's going to happen. Awesome.
Well, listen, Jake and Jane, thank you guys so much for coming on the call tonight. It was such a pleasure to have you. I've been expecting to have you on and hear you as I've seen you on and around the Internet there, and I look forward to seeing you guys in Utah.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to you, too, and I just have one more thing to say, and that is...
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, my friend. Yeah, stay thirsty, my friend.
Oh, yes, you got it. I am thirsty. All right, thank you very much. Awesome. Well, listen, guys, we are going to have Tawnya and Dewey from Canada on next. Are you guys there? Uh-oh. Silence. You know what? I know. Hold on, you guys. I had to mute you earlier because I was getting feedback. Hold on one second. That should have it. Dewey and Tawnya, are you guys there?
Yes, we are.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Yeah, when you first came on, I was getting a lot of background noise, so I muted you, and I forgot. Sorry about that. But, hey, welcome to the call, Tawnya. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm excited about it. And I know you just had an HBR or just finishing one up maybe?
Yeah, we're just finishing up one.
Okay,
so
great.
You'll be joining us in a few minutes here.
Okay, so tell us what's going on. What's going on in the business out there in Canada? What's new and what's exciting? What's going on? I know you guys broke some new pins recently, is what I heard from Dewey the other day.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Alberta is on fire here. We got Ruby executives Larry and Jen Allenbach from Fort McMurray, and Kent and Nadine Pickett just went gold, and they're also in Fort McMurray. So
oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we're really proud of those guys.
Awesome. And this is part of your downline, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, congratulations, guys. That is so fun. We're going to have them on one of the next calls.
Oh, yeah, you definitely want them on the call. They're lots of fun.
Awesome. Well, tell me real quick then, how did you two get started? I know the story, but, there might be some people here that might not. Tell us real quick how you and Dewey got started in Monavie.
Well, Dewey and I got started in Monavie. A very quick version of the story is that we were scheduled to have our first date. One of Dewey's friends called him, and we lived in Canmore at the time, and asked us to drive into Calgary. And I said to come to this. He didn't give us any information, but told us he's driving all the way from Edmonton. We could drive in from Canmore. He asked me, and I said, well, if we can bring the kids, sure, I'm in. So we went. We saw this opportunity presented by somebody named Joe Wack. And at that time, he was an Emerald executive, and I was just looking, I guess. And when I saw it, I thought it was amazing, and I wanted to do it. My husband, of course, was a total skeptic and was like, "Why are you asking for my credit card?" And made me wait till we drove all the way home to Canmore to sign in over Skype. So that's how we got started in the business.
Awesome. So you got signed up on a Skype meeting. And your husband made you drive all the way back before he gave you a credit card. I love it. And then I know Dewey later came on board, and you guys are both now building the business together, right?
Yes, absolutely. For all the people out there, that are struggling with their spouse or whoever they're with not being on board in the beginning, don't worry. Eventually they do come on board, and when they do, watch out. Your business will just go to a whole new level.
Awesome. And how long after you got started was it that Dewey came on board?
It took a while, because Dewey is Dewey. So I don't want to go there. But anyway, it just takes a while sometimes for people to get it. And it took us going on our winning our first Cruise for Gold and talking to Jeff Cohen on the beach. and that kind of got him like, okay, I guess I want to get this thing going, and came home, and that was it. We just started running.
That's awesome. And then I saw you guys in Israel when you went on the second trip.
That's right, Wayne. I'll
never forget. How about that first day? We were so jet-lagged, but they had that beautiful dinner for us on the beach. Guys, we had this beautiful dinner right off in Tel Aviv there, right on the Mediterranean, right on the beach. Oh, that wonderful food. I can still remember that like it was yesterday, even though I was half asleep, because I never slept on the plane ride the whole way there. I was so excited.
Oh, my gosh.
It was always my dream to go to Israel.
Tel Aviv is the New York of the Mediterranean, right? It was just such an amazing trip. I mean, wow, think about that. Think about any of you get that in your day jobs or your other jobs besides Monavie? No, you wouldn't. It's just such an amazing perk that we were all able to qualify and go on. It was just such a great trip, an unforgettable trip.
And you have some children too, correct?
Yes, we have three now. I just had a brand new little addition to our family, Matthew, on May 15th, so he's just about 5
Oh, my gosh, congratulations.
He may have been conceived in Israel. I hope that's okay to say. But anyway, I don't know.
That's okay. We're all adults here. My birthday's in May, too. That's so awesome. You have 3 kids. And so how are the other kids with Monavie? I mean, are they cheering mom and dad on, drinking?
Oh,
I know
man,
my kids.
They're so good. They know the drill. Like tonight we had HBR, so like, okay, Mom, what do you want us to do? And they're 4 and 5. They go in my room, or and they just kind of chill out for the night, knowing that Mommy and Daddy have to do an HBR. So they've been real supportive and great. And they're they want to know what their score, what their color is every day, and they're just fabulous with it. They love it.
Isn't it great? I mean, and I had to take mine to the dentist the other day. I scanned 7 people at the dentist office. After I scanned like the first 2, they were like orange and yellow and 1 red. There was the first 3. They're green and blue, my kids, right? So their eyes light up when they see all these adults, and they go, Daddy, can I go next? Can I go next? Knowing full well, I didn't even train, tell them to do this. They just saw this. Can I? And so, Blue, my youngest, Blue. He yells it in the dentist office, Blue, and they're all looking around. He's like, I'm Blue, I'm Blue. And they're so excited that they beat everybody in the office. And then the next thing you know, everybody's coming up to me. Well, I want to see what I am. I want to see what I am. And I'm like, okay. I scanned 7 at the dentist office, and I didn't even have to do anything.
They're amazing little tools, those children. Yes, they are. We did their kids' entire preschool class because of that. So
yeah, I did the preschool too. I did the 2nd grade and the preschool, and they beat them all. Nobody got close to them. They'll go do push-ups, have a couple of pieces of fruit, and then go, okay, scan me. And I don't have the heart to tell them that it's not going to work that fast. I'm like, okay, let's see. And I tell you what, isn't that huge? I don't know about you, but my oldest, his favorite vegetable is brown, right? Chicken nuggets, whatever. He won't eat fruits and vegetables, but he will drink Monavie. And now that they're doing this, I've never seen kids excited about health before until they always liked Monavie, don't get me wrong. But when we introduced the scanner, I've never seen so much excitement about health in an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old before.
Right, that's
right.
And
I think that's huge.
Yeah, and I think it awakens that in adults as well. I just think that scanner is amazing because it's just getting everybody focused in right where you need them to be. It's definitely changing. It's just changing the whole focus on your health. It really does. Now,
you guys I think you just had a BBS out in Canada. Is that right? Or you're getting ready to have them? You just had. How'd it go?
I'm going to let Dewey talk on the call now. He's had a few EMBs, so we'll see.
Oh, my gosh.
But anyway,
great talking to you, Tawnya.
And it was a pleasure talking to you, and I'm going to pass over to my hubby here.
You got it.
Hello.
Dewey, how are you, my friend?
Mr. Ullery.
Welcome to the call. She told me you had a few EMBs, so I'll try to talk real fast so you can understand me, okay?
Okay, thanks.
No, just tell me real quick, you guys had an HBR. You just had a BBS. So did I. I was at the Toledo BBS, which was fantastic, by the way. Anybody who missed that, oh, my gosh, lots of great information, lots of new promotions and things that they shared. Tell us what's going on out in your neck of the woods. You guys just had a BBS, and I know you just had an HBR.
We did. It was most phenomenal, Frank and Cindy Sosnick. Frank Sosnick single-handedly motivated every single person in the room. I mean, it was just, I'd seen Frank speak before, but never in that setting. And trust me, I would follow Frank to the end of the world. As a matter of fact, Frank, please call me. I got to get a copy of the recording of that BBS. He was absolutely awe-inspiring.
Wow. I bet you'll be on the lifelong learning. I bet you will get it on there. That's where they save the good stuff, the lifelong learning. If you're not on lifelong learning and you're on this call, you guys need to get on it.
Yeah,
so
I'd be a little long for lifelong learning because he went pretty much 7:30 to 9:30, but absolutely everybody riveted. The information, he breaks it down. He makes it so simple, so straightforward. Wow. And he's just a fabulous, fabulous person. There's so many people in Montevideo are, but it's really nice to get up close and personal with Cindy and Frank Sosnick.
Guys got some fire burning over there, both within you and below you. Come on, share something with the people. What are you seeing? You're scanning people. You're out there. What's working? What's not working?
I'll tell you what, Wayne. This 30-30. Getting the scanner out there. Of course, our leadership, the Merritts, the Huvas, we can't say enough good things about them. But last week we did have 2 people in their second week of qualification for Gold and Ruby. So we were out there trying to bang the 30-30 pilot the way we're supposed to. We did the best we could, and the results just show. Like Randy Schrader always says, just get out there and do it. So we're excited about the scanner. We just scanned a lady here at our HBR. We moved the HBR up by 45 minutes so we could be a little bit more free on this call. And she bought a kit. She was going to just try the MX. She took the pulse as well. And, it's exciting. People want to improve their health. It's just, it's pretty simple and it's pretty straightforward. Do you want to improve your health? Yes. Okay, here, this is how you do it. Boom.
Love it. Love it. My first week of the 30-30, I got off to a little bit of a slow start. I ended up getting in 9 scans for the week, and it might be a little low. But this week, in one day, I did 10. And I was at this salon. I was talking about this earlier, and I wanted to share real quick in this salon. I scanned. It wasn't until I got to the 10th lady. That's the one. She wanted the full scan. She wanted to buy a bottle. She even talked about making money. I was like, oh, where did you come from? The first 9, I got to tell you, a majority of them at least, orange, red, yellowish. And, I'm being pretty like, oh, my gosh, I'm glad you're sitting down. Hey, this isn't good. I sent them all emails. And but it was interesting because, with a couple of them, they went on to say, well, how much is this? So I explained, basically like $5 a day. I'm like, oh, my gosh, $130 a month. And I said, well, let me ask you something. Because they're sitting there getting their stuff done, right? And this lady just got color. Now she's getting her nails, getting the eyelashes. I said, what did all of this? And I did this big circle with my hand. What did all this just cost today? And she said, a couple hundred, probably. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't know, how often do you think you do this?
A couple hundred without tip.
Like every 3 months, 2-3 months or something. And I'm like, and it's not our job really to beat people up. Because you know what, this is a lifestyle change. And I think either the person's ready for it or they're not. And then I didn't say another word. I think they kind of got it. I was kind of like, really? Okay.
I'll tell you what, Wayne, like, our experiences last week, of course, first week of the 30-30. We're fully engaged with our team. I want to throw some props out to, firstly, Larry and Jennifer Allenbach, who's been on your call before.
Yes.
Just a phenomenal couple. They were on your call recently because they went gold, but now this past 2 weeks they've gone ruby. They're going to be on the ruby fly-in to Zermatt. It happens to fall on the week of their 23rd anniversary or the weekend of their 23rd anniversary.
Oh,
I mean, that's just off the hook how cool that is. And then their friends, the first people they sponsor in the business, who are a little bit, slow engaging because they're busy with their regular business. Nadine Pickett sponsored 6 people within a 24-hour period last Friday to go gold.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
6 people sponsored in a 24-hour period for someone who just engaged really about mid-April. I mean, this business, there is no business like this. And here we're having an HBR. We have one of our fabulous distributors in our team trying to keep my son, Matthew Mark Rexford German, quiet. He's rocked him to sleep. How many businesses where your business partners rock your kids to sleep so you can be on a North American call? There's no business.
Hey, congratulations on the new baby, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. And we want to throw props out, too, to Chelsea and Jeff Zula, who is actually David's personal sponsors. They're also Larry and Jennifer's personal sponsors. And Chelsea has 4 kids under 6.
Wow.
So I don't know if you're out there thinking you're too busy to do this. Call Chelsea and ask her how busy she is. But anyway, Wayne, we want to thank you for putting us on this call. I want to throw some prayers out there today because, as you know, we're from Canmore. That's this kind of resort community west of Calgary, and it's under emergency. It's got a declared emergency there. And we just got texted from one of our team members there who's taking a kayak to the hospital because the whole town is underwater and there's houses sliding into the river. And so I just want to get a kind of a group prayer out there, a Monavie power prayer out to all of our friends in Calgary and Canmore that are dealing with that right now.
Well, why don't we pray real quick for them? So, Lord, we just thank you for.
Go ahead, Wayne. You're better at that than I am.
Oh, come on. We just thank you for the people in Calgary that you're sending help their way, and Lord, we just pray for the waters to recess, and we pray for the rescue teams to be out there, to be mobilized, that there wouldn't be anything holding them back, anything political or anything like that, Lord. We would just pray for the rescue of the people in Calgary, both on the Dewey's team and off the team, just the people in that community. We just pray for rescue, for food, for support to flood into that area. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Amen. I did not know about that. I'm glad you shared that.
The last thing, Wayne, because I know you want to get Henry on the call, we want to throw a special shout-out to Kevin and Michelle McNutt. I can't even explain how cool they are. You'll meet them. They won the trip to Randy Schrader's house. They're black tie qualified. He's won the mini iPad. They're going to win a second mini iPad. They are amazing in this business. They're personally sponsored by Larry and Jen. I'm going to close the call with that.
Oh, you got it, buddy. You got it. It looks like we're going to have them on the call here soon. Appreciate you, Dewey, so much for coming on. You and Tawnya are great. I always love to hear from you guys. Keep up the good work, and can't wait to see you in Utah.
Everybody, go into your GPS book, turn to page 50, and follow your daily disciplines, because daily disciplines done daily build character. Bye, Wayne.
Bye, Dewey. Love you, man.
Bye-bye.
All right. Awesome call. Look, guys, this is, I told you, I knew we were going to have a great call tonight, as we do every Thursday. Next, I do want to bring on Henry Marsh, Vice Chairman and founder of Monavie. I'll never forget when I first met Ruby, he actually gave me a call to congratulate me, and I didn't recognize the number as it was coming in. And I was busy, but I wasn't that busy. And I was like, well, I don't know who it is. I'll call him back. And so then I hear this voice that says, hey, Wayne, it's Henry Marsh. Congratulations on going Ruby. So I called a friend in the business. And I said, Henry Marsh called me. He's like, he did. He's like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, Wayne, why didn't you answer the phone? I said, I didn't know who it was. So I called Henry back. We had a short discussion, a short chat. It was great. And then I never forget the Ruby fly-in. It was in the middle of the winter. And I'm sure Henry remembers we linked up like 30 tubes and went, tubing down this hill. All the staff there was going crazy because we were way over the limit. and Henry was leading the pack. I mean, he was there with us. Was such a cool guy, and I'm so excited to bring him on the call tonight. Henry Marsh, are you there, my friend?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Wayne?
Yeah, I can hear you great, Henry. Hear you great. So, Henry, tell us, if you could, you've heard a little bit of my style. I like to ask people, how did they first come to hear about Monavie? And I really want to hear that from you. If you wouldn't mind sharing just real quick, like how was Monavie first presented to you and what was going on in your life at the time? What were you doing?
Well, it's interesting. And first of all, Wayne, thank you so much. You're awesome. And the people on the call tonight, you guys are just phenomenal. Jane and Jake and Tawnya and Dewey. And I can't say enough about Steve and Gina Merritt. They are just such amazing people. I'm going to come back to that. But thank you for all you're doing. It's just so much fun to be with great people. And because we started a company, to be able to associate with great people and see how it changes people's lives. And I can't tell you how much fun I've had the last couple months. I've been traveling, done meetings in Bismarck, Phoenix. We just did one in St. Augustine, Anaheim. And then, of course, I've been internationally to Brazil and Portugal and Peru and Mexico. But it has been so much fun to be out with everybody. When we first started Monavie, I had no clue. We were in our basements. I had been working with Franklin Covey. My background was an attorney, Olympic athlete, and I learned when I was practicing law, this concept of leverage just blew my mind away because I was getting paid by the hour, and my clients were getting paid while they slept. And it didn't take me. I'm not stupid. It didn't take me long to realize that leverage is the name of the game to get ahead. And so I joined a company called Franklin Covey, and because I wanted to help people, and I had a piece of the rock of Franklin Covey, so to speak. I created a new division of the company working on health and wellness and developing a curriculum in stress management and going out in health and wellness and teaching people. Well, it was during that time when I was at Franklin Covey that I got a call one day out of the blue from a guy named Dallin Larson. I'd never heard of him and never met him, but he just called me out of the blue because he was working with a network marketing company that had a new product, and they wanted an Olympic athlete to be the spokesperson for this new product. They were a young company, and they couldn't afford a big-name athlete, so he called me. And they put my picture on the back of this box. And anyway, I got to know Dallin, and I got to know network marketing. And I just became enamored with it. I thought, oh, my goodness, this is the epitome of leverage. This is the epitome of how people can get ahead by going working and creating leverage by building a business. And so when I felt like I had run my course with Franklin Covey, I decided I wanted to start my own company. I had my own ideas about using Olympic athletes and doing network marketing and using cutting-edge nutritional things, and then partnering. In my mind, I was thinking of partnering with Dallin because he had the background in network marketing, and I wanted to do all that concept. And so I'm having these thoughts, and I'm out playing tennis at my house one day, and I hadn't seen Dallin in a long time. But Dallin, for those of you who know Dallin, he's just such an emotional guy. He's an incredibly loyal guy. And once you become friends with him, he's just a loyal guy. And he was living not more than a half mile from me, and I hadn't seen him in a couple of years. And so I was playing tennis one night, and he walked by, and he said, "Henry," and I go, and he and Carrie had just been married 2 months earlier, and I said, "Dallin, I got to talk to you. Come up." That was 10 years ago this month, June of 2003. Wow. And I said, Dallin, I got this idea. And so I told him about it, and he said, I've been thinking the same thing. And that was music to my ears, and that was the genesis of Monavie. We formed a preliminary company called Monarch Health Sciences that dealt with weight loss, and I won't go into all the details. And that's when the acai opportunity was brought to us during that year. And so we launched Monavie in January of 2005. And, it's been amazing because the quality of people both corporately and in the field that we've been able to attract, and being blessed. And all I can say is, having been with Monavie from the very start, it's a lot bigger than Dallin, Randy, and I, and somebody's hand has been watching over this company. That's the only thing I can think of, because we were blessed with acai berry. We were blessed with these incredible, nutritious, life-changing products, and the scientists that were able to formulate them and put them in a form that really changed people's lives. And so we kicked it off, and then the rest has been history. But while I'm thinking about it, one of the things that's so important for people to understand is that Monavie has become a better and better and better and better opportunity since day one. Part of the problem is because our products have continued to become cutting edge and get better and better, from healthy energy to the Reveal products to immune to Pulse. We keep launching cutting edge products, and I think what's happened is we've almost confused people because we've given them so many good things. And that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about the scanners, because I think it's now helping people to focus back and get in a clarity of message out to people, because what we have to offer people is just, off the charts. Okay, I don't know if I answered your question, but anyway, we started. You get me going.
No, it was fantastic. I mean, that is a fantastic. I've never heard that story, and I'm so glad that you shared it. It was fantastic, Henry. Let me ask you this. I'm hearing you said it's getting better and better and better, and in the 5 years that I've been involved, I keep seeing it, getting better and better and better. And I'm hearing these rumors about like a car program, new products. Is there anything you can share about that, or are you still? Is there a mum's the word going on there? I just hearing this today. There might be some kind of car program with these iPads. I don't know. Is there anything you can say about any of that, or is there any truth to it?
Well, let me just say I had a briefing today on new products. That's all I can say.
Okay, cool.
Let me put it this way. You don't want to miss Salt Lake in August.
Okay. I like that.
You don't want to miss Salt Lake. I will say this. One of the things that you're going to see in the future that I think is critical for the long-term success of Monavie, and you see it in any well-established network marketing company, one of the things that is critical to sustained, steady growth over a long period of time is making sure that you have consumable products that people are consuming, if they do the business or not. And so I think you're going to see more and more of a focus to make sure that whenever we contact somebody, if they decide not to do the business, they become a consumer of the products, and that we have offerings for them. So let me just say that, and you can take your imagination from there. But I'm so excited about the future of Monavie. Well, I mean, we have never been better positioned. I mean, the scanner is such a great example because, when we first started, we started on a shoelace. I mean, it's my neighbors. I went to raise money to start the company, get some money so that we could start a company. And we were on a shoestring budget. Monavie's success has now empowered Monavie to have the resources to do things like we spent millions of dollars developing the scanner. Well, when we started the company, we didn't have those kind of resources, but now we do. Now we're established. Now we're successful. Now we have the base. Now we have the financial wherewithal where we can do things like the scanner and cutting-edge products and programs that you're going to see rolled out and launched. And so Monavie, its best days are definitely in front of them, and I couldn't be more excited about the future.
Awesome. And with, you talked about traveling to so many different places. I know we just recently launched in Russia. Have you heard much of what's going on in Russia and how growth is going on over there?
Yet. The funny thing is that when we first started the company, I remember when I was the customer service department and the compliance department, and I knew everything about everything in the company. I can't anymore. So, I've tried to focus now, and my focus is on North, South, Central America. I speak Portuguese, I speak Spanish, and so I need to get up to Canada. I haven't been up to Canada for a while, and Canada is important to me. And so I try to focus on that area. So I go to Brazil, I go to Mexico, I go the United States and to Canada. And I rarely go to Asia. I rarely go over to Europe. And so that's just where I have put my particular focus. But no, we've opened Russia. That hasn't been my focus, so I can't give you an update on it, but I know we're excited about it.
That's okay. No, that's great. And well, let me ask you this, and I've asked the distributors to answer this. There's a new person on the call. They're listening. They're considering getting involved. Maybe they've already gotten involved. What could you tell them? Words of encouragement, or just anything that you'd like to share. If you could speak to a person I just brought in tonight, or like Dewey just signed up out in Canada, what would you say to a new distributor?
Well, I would echo, the most important thing of everything, and it's what was mentioned by Jane and Jake, I think Jake specifically, and that's excitement. The opportunity's there. It's never been a question of the opportunity. I could take anybody with the Montevideo opportunity, no matter what the economy's doing, no matter what, and they can be successful. But it boils down to one thing, and that's excitement and belief. Because belief translates. When you believe something, then it translates into three things. I'm going to be doing a BBS actually in Orange County on Saturday. I've just been preparing my remarks for it today, and I'm going to talk about the belief-behavior connection. Now, when we talk about behaviors, I'm going to break it down into behaviors have to do with facial expression is a behavior, voice excitement is a behavior, body language is a behavior, and when somebody presents an opportunity, the most important thing is what they read in those three behaviors. That's what's going to tell them if they want to do it or not much more than the substance. That's exactly what I believe Jake said, and I want to just echo what he said because it is so true. You look at, why is Gina Merritt so successful? I mean, it's obvious. Is there anybody more excited than Gina? Is there anybody that exhibits more excitement in body language and voice inflection and facial expressions? And so when you have an opportunity, if you're new to Montevideo, just be excited. Just be excited because first of all, you get excited because there's something that's important to you in your life that Montevideo can help you with. And that's the most important thing. That's what creates the excitement. But then go be excited. And when you're excited and that excitement comes across as contagious, people want to be a part of something exciting. And if your belief is low, then your excitement's low, and that comes across to the people you talk to, and they don't want to be involved with you. You're absolutely right that when you get involved, I heard it said again tonight on the call, and that is, if you just go to somebody, give me your credit card, I'm going to sign you up. You don't talk to them about, just give me your credit card, I'm going to sign you up, you got to do it. And that's all you need to know, And that's the kind of excitement and certainty and positiveness. You have to really believe that Montevideo can change people's lives. And that's the kind of excitement you have because you have products that change people's lives. You've seen thousands of people. You could go to thousands of Montevideo distributors. Every meeting I go to, I ask how many people has Montevideo had a significant impact on your health. 90% of the hands in the room go up. Well, because somebody shared it with them, they changed their lives. You have something you should be excited to share with people because you can change their lives, their health, and also their financial opportunities. When you talk about, part of the discussion tonight was about somebody brought up, they're doing their nails and spend $300 on, or a couple, $200-300 on their hair and nails and everything else. And the cost of Montevideo, $135 a month. Well, that, if you're talking about a business opportunity, look, in Brazil, when they built, Brazil, for instance, has just been going berserk. And here's how they approach it. If you're going to go to somebody, if you're going to talk to them about a business, talk to them in business terms. And business terms are, okay, I'm going to go buy a franchise. How much are you going to spend? If you want to go start your own business, let's say you're really serious, you want to change your economics of your life, you're really serious about starting a business. Say, okay, I'm going to start a business, so I'm going to go get a franchise. Well, how much money are you going to spend? And once you spend that money, how committed are you? Well, you're very committed because if it's a high entry, it's a high exit. And so with Montevideo, it's the same thing. In Brazil, they'll talk to them and say, okay, I want you to start, we're going to start a business, so we got to think like business people. How much capital are we going to need to start our business? And they'll usually say, okay, I've got about a $5,500 package to start our business. That's the capital we're going to need to have the tools and to set up the business. If that's too much, we'll do a $3,500 package. And if that's too much, let's start with a minimum $1,500 package. And that will give you the tools, the basic tools you need to get started, and the supplies you're going to need to start your business. Okay, well, we're talking business terms. But, so many people are apologetic and say, well, I don't know if you got $100 or $200, 100 or 2. Should we do 100 PV or 200 PV? Well, that's not a business. That's a consumer, and so they don't talk in terms of business. And you duplicate, you duplicate what you do with your people. Now I forgot what the question was, Wayne. I just got talking.
No, you were fantastic, and I forgot too. It doesn't matter. That was great, and I was the one who said that about the lady. And and you're so right. Well, I was at a salon. I was making connections, but the last one that I connected with, she was looking. And the one thing I wanted to say, and I've mentioned. So I scanned 10 people, right, Henry? And like I said, the first, and I remember I'll never forget her. She walks in. She's the last one coming in. I'm about to shut the scanner off, and I have to think to myself, let's just go. I'm kind of hungry. It's been a long day. I'm ready to go home and get something to eat. I'm starting to feel hungry. And I'm like, maybe now I got to scan her, because I got to thinking, what if? And so I go scan her, and I couldn't believe, guys, when you're talking to the right person, it's effortless, Henry. This thing is so, it is effortless. And she perked right up, and I said, hey, we'll have to do a quick scan or a full scan sometime. Well, can I do it now? I'm like, well, yeah, it's $10. She throws $10 right at me. She's like, can you come back in the room and talk to me for a little bit? I want to know more about this. She's the branch manager of a Chase bank. She's like, why don't you come in and you can sell all my girls? I'm like, well, wait a minute. We got to talk here, because what if I sell them all and we just put them under you? I'll come in, I'll scan everybody. She's like, oh, yeah, because I have a couple of fitness buffs. I got this one that wants, more money. She's already planning. When the other ones were like, oh, it's too expensive. That's what I love about the scans, and that's what I love about the 30/30 for pilot that we're doing, because the thing is if you just talk to enough people, you're going to get someone who's looking. Right, Henry? I mean, that's
absolutely, and you'll even get more people when you do a little bit of what's the word, pre-qualifying by talking in business terms. Talk in business terms. You have an incredible business opportunity for people, a leverage that you can't find in any other industry. You either have to come from money, or have money, or in order to make the kind of money you have in front of you in network marketing for very little down. But if people understand and they approach it as a business and they think in terms of business, you set them up for success rather than let's put your foot in and, I don't know, let's try 100 or 200. I mean, you're just setting them up wrong, and you're not pre-qualifying them right. So think in terms of business is just one idea, suggestion I'd throw out. And I'll tell you, they've had amazing results in Brazil using that kind of mentality.
Yep. And I got to imagine that when you helped get Monavie started, it wasn't just a couple $100.
No.
Right? I'm sure you guys
multiply that by hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, exactly. And yet you have people in this industry, in this company, that are making some serious money. Right? I mean, that they could go invest that kind of money and might not come out squeaky clean on the other end. They could collapse. So there's people that are in this proven system that are coming in on, say, 1,500 PV or 1,500 kit, and yet they're making thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands a week.
No, I just did a meeting in Phoenix, and we had an owner of 4 subways that hosted the meeting. Well, I mean, if you went through that, I'm not going to take the time right now, but if you went through the economics of what you have to do to start 4 subways, how much money you have to put in, what your hours are, the employees and the management, and then what your return is, it doesn't compare to the potential that you can do, say, even a blue diamond, even a diamond in Montevideo, let alone a black diamond or a crown or imperial. I mean, we got a 26-year-old imperial in Brazil.
Oh, my gosh.
It's mind-boggling. And by the way, he's going to come up and speak at convention, I believe, in August.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, he's a fun kid. And his
awesome.
girlfriend's a blue diamond.
Oh my gosh! I think I know what's her name? Do you know her name?
Yeah, Bobby.
Okay, yeah. I think I've seen them on social media, taking all kind of pictures of the lifestyle and all this, and I'm like, oh, see, 26 years old. I didn't realize. I knew he was presidential, so I didn't realize that he went up to Imperial.
Yeah, I believe he just hit Imperial. I can't keep up with him anymore. I remember doing a meeting down in Sao Paulo a couple of years ago. He was an Emerald.
Oh my goodness! See,
and but they have. Anyway, the potential is the bottom line. New person coming into Montevideo, the opportunity's there. It's up to you. It's what you make of it. It's your excitement. It's your passion. It's your vision. But the opportunity's there. It's already proven it's there.
And Henry, wouldn't you say that for someone who's new, when I was like 19 years old, someone got me into a network, and they didn't really tell me much, but all they kept saying was, just be excited, just be excited. And I'm like, I don't get how I'm not excited about toothpaste and soap and all this stuff. Like, how do I be excited? But what's neat in Montevideo? It's very easy to get excited. Number one, you could go share the product with just some friends and family. I shared it with my 90-year-old grandma, and when I saw all the results that happened with her was enough to keep me excited for the rest of my life, let me just tell you. Another great way, awesome way, is to come to Utah in August. If you want to get a passion, we always used to say, and still do, you're not in Montevideo until Montevideo's in you. One way that can happen is if you come to Utah, meet, and shake Henry's hand and all the other great speakers that are there. I tell you what, there's so many different opportunities, BBSs, HBRs, just call your upline. There are so many ways for you to get excited about what you have your hands on. You just got to take the first step.
Well, that's absolutely right, Wayne, because, as I mentioned, it's belief. And when you go to the conventions, that's where you build your belief, and the belief translates into those behaviors I talk about, your body language, your voice excitement, your facial expressions. That's all reflected in how strong your belief is. And at the conventions where you get your belief, when you hear from, Sean Talbot, you get the science, you understand the science, you realize what you have in your hands. I mean, I wish we could just spend an hour talking about the science of the products because it's amazing. The whole medical community now is focused on inflammation. And anyway, I can't get started tonight because it'll take too long. But you'll learn that. You'll get excited because you'll understand what you got, and much more depth. And be around people who are motivating, who you can feed off their excitement and their success and learn from them. So anyway, convention is absolutely critical. If you're serious about building a business, you absolutely have to be there.
Yeah. You know what I could do an hour on is the breakthrough factor.
Well, I use the full day seminars on that, so don't get me started.
Okay, I'm not going to get you started, but I'd like to have you on another time and cover just a little bit of that. But you guys aren't going to want to miss that. And it's a book that Henry wrote called The Breakthrough Factor, and I got it when I went to that Ruby Fly-In, and it's awesome. So, Henry, thank you so much for coming on the call. It was an honor to have you on the call, and really appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you in Utah, my friend.
Great to be with you. Thanks for all you're doing, and thanks for all the wonderful people listening. I look forward to seeing you in a city near you soon. As I mentioned, I'll be in Orange County on Saturday afternoon with Todd and Angelique Hartog and Holly and Corbin Roush and Rex Crane. And then I'll look forward to seeing people in August in Salt Lake. A Black Diamond trip. If you're on Black Diamond, look forward to seeing Alaska next month. We got a lot of fun stuff going on. So, we want to have a lot of fun along the way in addition to helping a lot of people. Just got back from the Moore Project expedition a couple of weeks ago, and I just can't tell you what great people we have. The people who went down there signed up on that expedition. If you've never been on the Moore Project expedition, I promise you it will change your lives. And as I've told parents, if you want to have a great teenager, send them to the Moore Project. It will change their lives. It will put life in perspective for them, guaranteed. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you so much for letting me be part of your call, and I look forward to seeing you.
All right. Thank you, Henry. And as we do every Thursday, I will open up the lines now so everybody can give a shout-out as to who they are and where they're from. This has been Wayne Ullery, Youngstown, Ohio.
Great call tonight, Wayne.
Well, I don't know if you know what? I'm sorry, my system is not letting me unmute the calls. Here, I'll unmute everybody manually. Here you go.
Fired up, Gina Merritt. Woohoo!
Woohoo! There you are, Gina.
Great call, Wayne. Not a big one.
Well, if there's eating and drinking, I'd like to.
Mute it so you can say who you are.
Okay, I got it on mute now. There you go.
My sister Kay, woo! Thank you, Wayne.
You see that I have food in my mouth, right? And I have a half a beer. You want me to, walk out right now? Thanks.